everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to a new month of a topic to be able to do. Last month was great to talk through various mental health awareness aspects and just thinking about June and wondering what to do. And it was like, hey, there's a lot of excitement that comes into summer because we finally made it. And I was just thinking, how about some like do's and don'ts, right? And the basis of wisdom, what's going to be wise to focus on, what's going to be wise to avoid. So trying to share some of that from my experience, what stands out to me, but also really encouraging and challenging everybody to identify those things for yourself as you go through, because I think the summer will be a lot better if you're intentional to watch some of those things. So writing on Monday, just about two that come to mind, just one do and one don't, because they show up the most. And in reality, a lot of do's are related to how people manage their sleep schedule in summer. We know that the sun is creeping up earlier and earlier, and for the next few weeks, it's going to stay up longer and longer, which pushes the range of activities that people do and really cuts into that opportunity to sleep, that 7 to 9 hours you want to have, where there's lots of events to do in the evening. So really that first suggestion was pay attention to that. Again, naps are our friends. If you go like 90 minutes or so, or less, even cat naps can really make up for a difference as you go through your week or weekend. So pay attention to that. The reality is there's a big don't that comes across my office in conversations, and that's just simply the amount of alcohol use that increases in the summer months. And when that happens, things go from, I just have a drink to take the edge off, to, well, then there's a barbecue this week, or there's a get together this weekend. And that simple usual level starts to increase. And if you remember going back to December and talking about the holidays, whenever there's a sense of festivity and celebration, alcohol use goes up 25 to 35%. So when you start doing that every week, because you have all these celebrations to enjoy, it's really easy to watch that get away from you. So pay attention to the feedback you might get from family members or support network people, or be sure just to be cognizant of that as you go through. A big, don't let that get away from you. So those exercises are really some reflection points, or asking yourself, that's what Steve suggested, but really what is my priority going into June with these physical needs that I have? Because we'll spend the month talking through physical stuff this week, mental, emotional, relational, do's and don'ts about each category of who we are. So this first week is really about those physical needs. So sleep and drinking, what are you going to do with those two things? But recognize you have your own list of priorities that you want to focus upon when it comes to your physical self, and some things to avoid, right? Some pitfalls you might have, and you want to be able to avoid those as well. So it kind of brings us into our usual Wednesday morning to talk about some dates, right? Maybe these are some priorities you can have. I was just gathering to think, what is everything squeezed into June in terms of priorities people might have? So these are some days, some national calendar days that really stand out to me in June. But maybe you have your June filled, or your summer filled already with activities to do in the evening or on the weekends. But it's all part of this. What are your priorities, and what are the pitfalls to avoid? So I don't know where these would fall for you. Just as an example, June 1st is National Heimlich Maneuver Day. Okay, maybe that's a priority for you to study that and be available, or maybe that's a pitfall because you ate too much at a get-together or barbecue, right? So just pay attention to that one. June 4th, I know a lot of us here like our dogs, but National Hug Your Cat Day on June 4th. Again, a priority or a pitfall. These could fall either way as you go forward. June 6th, another thing to celebrate, National Gardening Exercise Day, right? I picked that one because I remember we did a talk once, and it said if you do gardening exercises, that's a moderate level of physical activity that helps your heart health. So I wanted to come back to that and highlight that as a legitimate exercise that you need to do. This one's important in our house. June 11th, National German Chocolate Cake Day. Okay, so that's a good one. June 15th, in case you need this one, National Blame Someone Else Day. All right, halfway through the month, if you've had enough, that day will help reset everything. June 20th, we like community walks. I don't know if June 20th is a Thursday, but it's National Hike with a Geek Day. So maybe the Morning Wander can be renamed, Bill, to that one. If June 21st, of course, Father's Day. We can't forget about dads. And then two more One of my favorites, June 22nd, National Chocolate Eclair Day. So I'll have to be careful with the pitfall on that one, not to eat too many eclairs. And then June 28th, National Paul Bunyan Day, right? And I did check, the Paul Bunyan restaurant in the Dells is still open. So if you need to have a good priority to go eat some good food, or a pitfall to watch that you don't eat too much there, pay attention to it. That's what really this month's about. Wisdom. What's wise for you is really informed by your history, about what's happened in the past and what you want to do in the present and what you're trying to aim for in the future. And this is good this month to be talking about that. So as I encountered summer and thought about it, here's our questions for this morning. What is the best part of summer for you that you've been excited to think about yourself? Maybe it's one of these calendar days I've mentioned, but most likely it's something else that you're looking forward to. What stands out on your mind as you think about summer? Boating. It's a good one. Any others? Spending time outside. Campfires. Not working, says a teacher. There we go. Others? These are really good. Be thinking about that. These are the priorities, right? Finally get to summer, and here's what I can't wait to do. So may they all go well. But here's a little twist on that question for our second one. What is a change you want to make from last summer into this summer to enjoy it even more? Trying to think of wisdom. What are the priorities or pitfalls? What's a change you want to make based on last summer and you want to do it differently this summer? Anybody been thinking about that one or encountering that? Might take some reflection. Look back on your calendar from last year. Maybe something will stir in your mind of, I was too busy, or I didn't have enough weekends off to be at home, or I didn't connect with so-and-so as much. Be a good reflection point to be able to check out how you want to do it better this year. Sometimes by looking back on last year's calendar will prompt some of that. So your priorities are right on. It'll help you identify what your do is. I really want to do this more this summer. Good thing. All right, some final comments as we kick off this month of do's and don'ts and this physical focus this week. The first one is really, I want everyone to schedule a time to be all in on the things they're passionate about. Because now we've been waiting, you've got these 16 hours of daylight, you have all these opportunities, there's not weather usually getting in the way, everyone's out and about and accessible. This is the time to really find out where can I schedule it in, who can I do it with, because there's less obstacles now in June and the months ahead than there have been all year long. So really be intentional about that, find the motivation to be able to do it. Here's another comment about pitfalls. It's this phrase of don't overestimate your strength and underestimate the challenge. So it's this idea of, I have plenty of time to get that done. I'll go ahead and commit to that. I'll go ahead and dive into some of that margin I have and dedicate it to something else. So you're overestimating your ability to do things, and you're underestimating maybe some surprises that might come or a challenge. The easiest example of this one is when people meet with me and they talk about building their own house, and they think, I've got plenty of time to be able to do that, and then something else comes in. I'm not discouraging people from building their house. I'm just saying, that's something to pay attention to. I'm going to take on this project of any sort, and I'll be okay, but then something starts to work against you. So just pay attention to that one, because pitfalls can be subtle sometimes and creep up on us, and that's another way to try and do better. And then finally, just a strong encouragement to say this is a good time of year to really make some of those long-awaited changes that you've been holding out for. Because when you're trying to do it sometimes inside, it's dark at 4 o'clock, everyone's not out and about. There's a lot of other activities that go on, but summer by nature tries to be a little bit more relaxed and open. But as you walk around, the number of people out and about doing things, this is a good opportunity because people want to be able to be out. So if you ask for some help or you want to be able to get together to talk about something new, this is a good time of year to really double down on some of these things. So a good morning to really kick off this month, this theme of do's and don'ts, how to do it. Again, highlight of do's, pay attention to your sleep. The don'ts, don't let alcohol get away from you, or the two I suggested, but you have your own list. And the more you can pay attention to your own wisdom from your own experience, the better that will go. And next week, we'll talk about the mental do's and don'ts, and followed by emotional, and then the relational to conclude the month. So it's going to have some good energy to it, and really challenging people to maximize the summer we have been eager to get to. So I hope it's a good month overall for everybody as we encounter June and summer kicks off. All right, good to see everybody. Have a good workout today and a good week. Thanks.